Hello, I'm Yuhan Ko, and this is the Campus News for Wednesday, June 3rd. In response to the coronavirus pandemic, the school took a number of measures designed to ease the burden on students, particularly seniors. Some of these policies included making AP exams optional and waiving the 12-hour community service requirement for all students. However, despite the fact that community service is no longer mandatory this school year, many students have taken it upon themselves to volunteer in their communities, making homemade face masks, donating food to homeless shelters, writing letters to the elderly, and virtually tutoring underprivileged students. Last December, Campus News began investigating an issue at school that existed before the pandemic and will, if history is any indication, continue in the fall, whether we're meeting on campus or online. Alexandra Mork has details.
Personally, I've seen it all. I've seen people look across at each other's quizzes,
asking what kind of questions are on the test.
I've seen people copy lab reports and then just edit a few words here and there.
You have a lab late at night to just copy one of your friends and send it in.
Copy English essays.
I'll see a person in one period tell a person in the next period what the essay question is.
I've seen people share labs.
What kind of multiple choice is on it and what exactly to study.
SparkNotes is technically cheating, so people do that all the time.
Cheating at Harvard-Westlake is an ongoing and unsolved problem. Students regularly attempt to gain an unfair advantage in order to boost their grades or decrease their workload. Upper School Dean Beth Slattery explains that students often cheat because they're stressed.
Most of the time kids panic. They're not actually trying to do something terrible. They just get caught in a bind and they make a bad decision, and the school wants to acknowledge that good kids can do bad things on occasion.
In the world of Zoom classrooms, which continued through the end of the 2020 school year, cheating becomes even more complicated. Senior Max Valdez feels that online tests will increase students' ability to cheat.
People in 10th and 11th grade probably will go through more to cheat now because it's much easier to do, and their grades mean just as much as if they were in class.
However, others disagree. Senior Izzy Yvonne, who recently had an open note and open browser physics test, thinks it will be harder for students to cheat while classes are online.
They're really taking away a lot of the ways that you would be cheating, kind of beating us to the punch, which I guess is pretty smart.
As the administration attempts to address academic dishonesty, students share mixed feelings over whether the school should try to prevent cheating at all. Some students, such as senior Max Silver, believe that students who cheat are justified as long as they don't get caught.
If you feel like it's okay to cheat and you can get away with it, I feel like you can't really say anything about it. But if you get in trouble, if you get caught, I feel like you deserve to get punished for it.
Sophomore Kate Burry feels that cheating provides students with an unfair advantage.
Kids who aren't working hard enough are getting grades that they don't deserve, and kids who are working really hard are getting the grades that they deserve but are being put on the same level as kids who don't.
The school has implemented a number of measures to combat cheating. Librarian Candace Madison describes how the school has attempted to stop cheating in the library.
Well, we have the 2 cameras in the room that's running 24 hours. We do have audio. Unfortunately, it does not record, so we watch it live.
However, these measures are not always effective. One anonymous student describes the ways in which they still manage to cheat.
I go to silent study and have notes. I then angle it so that people walking around can't see it. I know the cameras straight up see it, but no one cares enough to actually check.
In the rare cases where the school does find a student cheating, the student is sent to the honor board. Senior Prefect Council member Clay Skaggs explains that although the primary function of the honor board is rehabilitative, it also exists to discourage students from cheating in the first place.
The honor board also gives really low grades on assignments that were cheated on to act as a deterrent. For example, on English essays, we will sometimes give as low as 0, which will make a huge impact on people's grade and can even lower the end of the year grade by an entire letter grade.
Dean of Students Jordan Church says that the honor board typically reviews just under 30 cases per school year. Although this number doesn't take into account minor first-time offenses, many students feel there's a discrepancy between the number of cases the honor board hears and the number of students who actually cheat. This is likely due to a lack of reporting, which Slattery attributes to students being unwilling to report their peers.
We hear from kids that they see lots of different examples of it, and then kids tend to get frustrated that we're not doing anything about something that they won't report.
Head of Upper School Laura Ross believes that in order to prevent cheating moving forward, the administration should analyze the structures as well as the individual policies that allow and encourage cheating.
Where does cheating happen? Why does cheating happen? What's the research on dishonesty in schools, right? And then how do our policies and practices either create an environment where more cheating might happen or help to mitigate it?
In its quest to better prevent cheating, the school hired Challenge Success, an organization that advises schools about proposed policies that will improve student well-being, to perform a survey to determine the common types and causes of cheating at Harvard-Westlake. The organization concluded that the new block schedule will help prevent cheating. In addition to schedule changes, the administration is also pushing for change on the classroom level. Ross encourages teachers to restructure their curriculum to measure students' original thought, which she believes will not easily lend itself to academic dishonesty. In addition to changing policies, Slattery believes the school should also create an environment in which students feel comfortable asking for help rather than taking shortcuts.
We could create a culture where they felt that they'd be supported by the school if they did say on occasion that they were not prepared for something, that they would be met with support.
While the success of future initiatives by the administration has yet to be seen, currently, cheating is embedded in the culture of the school, despite measures designed to stop it. For Campus News, I'm Alexandra Mork.
The school will host its annual mandatory awards assembly to recognize several members of the senior class tomorrow from 3 to 5, followed by an online fundraiser honoring the class of 2020. As the school year comes to a close, the administration is beginning to plan for the future of Harvard-Westlake. Summer programs will be held virtually, but the fate of the 2020 to 2021 school year is still unclear. In his May 22nd email to the school community, President and Head of School Rick Commons says the school's task force is preparing for different scenarios, including online classes, in-person classes, and a combination of the two. More information will be available soon. On our last show of the year brings us a new restaurant review segment. It's called Nosh Time, and it's about the secret menu items at famous fast food chains. Your host is Charlie Wang.
Hi guys, my name is Charlie Wang and welcome to Nosh Time. Today we will be reviewing secret menu items at Five Guys. Before we start, I would like to first of all explain my rating system, which will be a 0 to 10 scale, with 0 being pretty much inedible. A 10 will be just absolutely exceptional, a great experience too. And then a 5 will be, maybe it's a normal menu item, but it's not worth being a secret menu item. We'll be factoring in taste, presentation, texture, mouthfeel.
The first secret menu item, the burger bowl, is all the elements of a burger packed into a tinfoil box. You can put any burger item of your choice in it. For mine, I had the patty on top, onions and sauteed mushrooms on the bottom, and lettuce and tomato on the side.
It was really compelling to have all the pieces of the world-famous Five Guys burger separated into individual parts. On a scale from 1 to 10, I would give the bowl a 5 due to its lack of flair.
For its presentation, I would give it an 8 due to its nice balance of colors. I would give its texture a 6 and its mouthfeel a 7 because while each of the ingredients felt fine, it was difficult to eat all of them with a fork. Overall, I would give the burger bowl a 7 out of 10. The second item, the grilled cheese cheeseburger, is pretty much a normal cheeseburger with grilled cheese sandwiches in place of the buns. The grilled cheese sandwiches added a great layer of cheese that went perfectly with the meat and the other parts of the burger. It felt like I was biting into a soft pillow and then met with the comforting taste of a burger in the middle. I would give the burger's taste a 9 because while the concept of a grilled cheese sandwich and a burger are pretty simple, the two combined were exceptional. I would give its presentation an 8 because of its overall coloration. I would give its texture a 10 and its mouthfeel a 10 because I just love the combination of softness and crunchiness within the burger.
Overall, I would give the grilled cheese cheeseburger a 9 out of 10.
The third item was the chunky chocolate peanut butter bacon milkshake. The shake had a light brown color and was a regular chocolate peanut butter shake, just with the addition of small bits of bacon. I would give the shake's taste a 5 because there was nothing really original about it. I was really expecting more from the bacon and ended up searching for it throughout my meal. I would give the presentation a 5 because it was pretty boring overall. I would give the texture a 7 considering that it hit the Five Guys signature smoothness. I would give the mouthfeel an 8 because when I was able to get some bacon, the crunch went really well with the smoothness of the shake itself. Overall, I would give the shake a 6.
Today was a review of the world-famous Five Guys secret menu item. My favorite was definitely the grilled cheese cheeseburger. I highly recommend that you try it the next time you step into a Five Guys. For Nosh Time, I'm Charlie Wang. I'll see you next time.
In the age of stay-at-home orders, some Harvard-Westlake student artists have continued to create and hone their craft from home. Kyle Reams has the story.
As the coronavirus pandemic has forced everyone to stay in their homes, I spoke with 3 Harvard-Westlake artists, each specializing in a different type of art, to see how the lockdowns were affecting their creative output. Junior painter Helena Stoic says working from home, without the guidelines or time constraints of a class, has allowed her to try new things with regards to her painting.
I've actually had obviously had a lot more time in my hands to start painting at home again. Normally it was just in class with all my teachers with their prompts, but now I'm painting off of what I want to. And, junior year was pretty stressful. There was too much work to feel not guilty painting in my free time. So quarantine has granted me a lot of time to do that.
No pressure. Senior Annabelle Zimmer, whose art is mainly photo and video based, says a surplus of time can lead to a lack of motivation.
When you have so much time, it's so hard to actually actually be motivated to do anything. And without any kind of pressure to make anything, I almost feel why am I not just laying in bed watching Real Housewives all day? That's pretty fulfilling to an extent.
Stoic says that she too finds it hard to push herself to start, but also feels that creating art is a needed reprieve from a chaotic world.
It has been a bit hard to inspire myself to kind of pick up the paintbrushes and lay out my canvas and put everything together. But there are some points that I reach during the week where I just can't stand staring at a screen anymore. Getting sick of the screen is what really pushes me to paint. I think it's soothing because there's not as much going in my head. There's too much stimulation from all the screens around me. So painting is a really good break, and it's good for my mental health.
Senior Graham Bergersax, who performs music under the name Graham Riley, says making music has always been therapeutic for him, and now, specifically, it helps him feel like he is getting something done.
It always has, even in regular times, but especially now, even just as something to make myself feel like I'm being productive in a more practical, pragmatic way than, a therapeutic way. It just is a nice thing that I can do. And I know this is kind of corny and everyone says this, but when you're really focused on creating music or whatever it is, you can really block out everything else in the world.
Zimmer says art acts as a safe space for her, and the pride that comes with creating is incredibly helpful.
So I kind of find art is a nice place. It feels safe. I think that, especially these days when I am definitely more prone to being depressed or feeling just really horrible about myself or whatever, having something to hold on to and be proud of is such a gift.
With the world on lockdown, interpersonal interactions have become less and less common. For artists that base their work on these interactions, they must adapt to the new normal. Zimmer says, although she has lost some of her inspiration, another facet of it shines through even stronger than before.
When we're not in quarantine, most of my work does kind of focus on things that are happening to me or my relationships with different people. But it's always kind of had an element of escapism, but I've definitely felt that during quarantine, I really doubled down on this escapist concept, just because I kind of feel I don't want to deal with what's happening outside. And it feels better to create these false realities.
Burgersack says he knows he must accept this new time and has found that now both his process and product have completely changed.
The source of inspiration is definitely different, but I've found that, life goes on. It's a different kind of life, so you have to pull from different sources than you usually would. I didn't always write only love songs in the past, but it was a lot more. But now the songs are a lot more, I guess, introspective and philosophical, and more just singular and having to do with myself and my relationship with myself rather than my relationship with others, because you're not around other people, right?
As the lockdowns go on, these artists are sure to continue to do what they love. For more information on all of them, check out their Instagrams, shown here. For Campus News, I'm Kyle Reams.
Current sophomores and juniors recently elected Jonathan Cosgrove and Cleo Maloney to be head prefects for next school year. Congratulations to both. The class of 2020 is celebrating the end of high school through a virtual senior week, which will end with Senior Fest tomorrow night and a diploma parade on Friday. Valedictorian Diego Ahmed and salutatorian Dahlia Lowe will speak to the class via Zoom in the morning. Their speeches, along with President Commons' remarks and the live diploma parade, will be live streamed on HWTV starting at 12:30. Even though the class of 2020 had their time together cut short, many still had almost 6 years of memories on each campus. Charlie Wang talked with 5 seniors about their favorite memories, activities, and teachers.
Some of the retreats were really fun. Honestly, all of the middle school retreats I had a lot of fun on.
I think meeting my band was a personal one. That's definitely one of my favorites. The river retreat is where we met.
In 9th grade, I was running to the calf, and I saw my guy Brendan King on the field. So I was going to run to him and fake truck him. But for some reason he saw me as I was going to actually truck him or something. So then he laid me out, and then I had a stomach kick 45 minutes.
One of them I know off the dome is I was talking with Sultan, who was a senior last year, and me and him were we were just talking on the quad, and Lauren Juzang used to do this thing where she'd try to come up behind me and slice my neck, just like that.
I cannot even explain what that felt like. I was barely friends with him. I was not friends with Sultan. I ate it.
And trips over our feet and face plants right in between us, and she didn't know Sultan at all.
My knee was bleeding, and they were like, "Are you okay?" I was sweating. I was so embarrassed. Fine, and I walked away.
And it was the funny, and that's probably the hardest I've ever laughed at Harvard-Westlake.
When I was on the freshman baseball team, and one of my teammates forgot to bring his bag of clothes to change into his baseball uniform at the field. So when the coach found out that he didn't have a change of clothes, he said, "You can't practice, so you're just going to be picking up leaves the entire time." So we were all practicing, and on another field, this guy was going around on the edges, just picking up leaves, isolated.
Okay, my favorite activity at Harvard-Westlake is probably playing football. I'm maybe not so much the playing part, but really just becoming close and having a bond with all my teammates.
Honestly, the big red layouts were probably my most favorite thing.
Kind of sports and lifting in terms of activities at the upper school is all I friggin' did.
Peer sport, definitely one of the best. I think I've just learned so much about how to be a better person, better friend, better listener.
Probably Mr. Neelis was my favorite teacher. He had extremely high expectations. I found that class to be extremely rewarding.
Mr. Yang is God of all gods.
Fun. I mean, Dr. Lafitte would it was a fun class, we'd always joke around and stuff, and we'd also learn stuff, obviously.
Mr. Klein, I've had a class with him all 3 years, and he is the funniest, smartest, best teacher ever.
Good luck and congratulations to the class of 2020. For Campus News, I'm Charlie Wang.
With all athletic activities canceled or delayed due to the COVID-19 pandemic, Alex Amster caught up with 3 Harvard-Westlake athletes to see how they're staying safe and staying in shape.
Rising senior Marshall Howe details team activities and whether he's been able to get out on a field during quarantine.
Our team is doing Zoom workouts where we all get on and have a place to work out, and are coached by our football coaches in the lift and the strength staff, and so we have team lifts on Zoom. And additionally, I've been working out on my own, doing sprints around my house, on the street, and then I've been able to get out a couple times and throw at a park that's open nearby my house.
Baseball player Bennett Markinson reflected on what it was like to have the season canceled and also how it has impacted his recruiting.
It's horrible. We worked so hard. I mean, we were kind of prepping for it since September, the whole year, kind of fall and winter, grinding. And just to be able to have that taken from you kind of 10 games in when you're so close with, all the guys on the team, and especially the seniors. Now you don't get to, we had 8 of them we're all really close with, and you don't get to finish the season out with them and kind of play with them one last time. It's just really sad and disappointing. Baseball wise, I've been hitting a lot kind of in my backyard, and catching too, kind of off a machine, just receiving wise. Obviously can't catch any bullpens right now, but just continuing to work like that. Recruiting wise is huge because they just extended the dead period through end of June and might be coming even further. I think for everyone, kind of this summer, junior year summer is pretty important, especially for us, and also some sophomores too that were looking to get in front of some schools. Obviously, I think all the seniors already found homes, so it doesn't really affect them recruiting wise. But for us, we were supposed to get kind of in front of schools this summer, and a lot of showcases, tournaments lined up, and now all that is kind of question marks, and trying to stay in contact and sending them video, but not being able to play in front of them or seeing them in person is definitely tough.
Football tight end Jack Weiskopf talks about creative ways to stay in shape without a home gym and his mindset with uncertainty around next season.
Well, it sucks for me, especially because, I don't have weights or anything like that. So, I've just been trying to find creative ways to kind of do things I was doing before. Like instead of doing dumbbells, I have like backpacks, and I'm trying to do like hill sprints, stuff like that. But obviously it's a lot different. I'm trying not to go outside as much as possible, just because I don't want to get involved in the whole pandemic. I want it to be over with so we can have a season. So, for me, I would say the biggest thing that's changed overall, it's just we have to find more creative ways to work out, which I think is cool, honestly. I like it. I'm just assuming we're going to have a season because I don't want to even think about not having one. And I just want to still also, it's good motivation to try and stay in good shape right now because obviously it's hard nowadays to find good motivation to work out and stuff, not knowing what the future is going to be like. So for me, just thinking about football season as a whole, it kind of keeps me motivated to keep working, and I think we'll have one. I hope we do at least, so we'll see.
Questions still remain whether Harvard-Westlake will reopen campuses for athletic activities during the summer and whether fall or winter seasons will occur. For Campus News, I'm Alex Amster.
And that's the Campus News for Wednesday, June 3rd. I'm Yuhan Ko. We'll see you next year.